Also in the year 2024, Sec Bunuan also directed me to submit a list of projects for possible inclusion in the NEP for fiscal year 2025 for the amount of 900 million. I asked Bulacan Press DO for a list of projects for funding. Thereafter, Engineer Alcantara submitted to me a list of projects for funding under the NEP. Those projects are indicated in the list here to attach as Annex Q. In compliance with this order, I forwarded the list to Sec Bunuan. Sec Bunuan said that Jose Cabral shall again facilitate and ensure the inclusion of these projects in the NEP. Engineer Alcantara gave 20% of the value of the projects. With respect to the commitments collected by Engineer Alcantara narrated above, Secretary Bunuan and I received a percentage. In many instances, during budget deliberations, I was tasked by Sec Bunuan to talk to legislators over their funding and other concerns, and to forward these concerns to Jose Cabral for action and resolution. Sec Bunuan and Jose Cabral. Every year, including years 2023, 2024, and 2025, Jose Cati Cabral apportions the budget ceiling for the DPW's allocable NEP among the districts according to the endorsed programs, activities, and projects, PAPs. Although she would make it appear that 100% allocable NEP had been apportioned, Jose Cati Cabral would reserve a substantial percentage of that allocable NEP for her and Sec Bunuan's preferred projects. Sec Manny Bunuan would from time to time ask me to take charge of part of his own reserve allocations. The value of the projects that I handled for Sec Bunuan was at least 5 billion per annum for the years 2023, 2024, and 2025 with an average of 15% commitment. Of this 15% average commitment, Sec Bunuan 75% usually would give of this 15% average commitment, Sec Bunuan 75% usually would give me 25% of the commitment, with the rest of the commitment shared between him and Jose Cati Cabral. Jose Cati Cabral herself took charge of her own reserve allocations. Once again, I humbly reserve the right to submit another supplementary affidavit if warranted in the premises. I attest to the truth of the foregoing statements based on my personal knowledge and authentic records. Mr. Chair, thank you.
Thank you. The Vice Chairman, Senator Erwin Tulfo, you may reclaim your time.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Okay. Aside from the tables attached as annexes, may iba ka pa bang ebidensya na magpapatunay po sa inyong sinumpaang salaysay?
Mr. Chair, I would of course, I may submit additional documents po pagka po na retrieve from the records. Meron po.
Alright. Mr. Chair, babalikan ko po si Engineer Bernardo. Ang tanong ko lamang po, at tanong ng mga kababayan natin, napapansin po kasi nila na isa-isa ng mga opisyal, dating opisyal sa DPWH, maging ang ilang mambabatas, ay tumatakbo po sa ibang bansa. How do we stop this flight, Mr. Chair? Kasi baka darating po ang araw, wala na po tayong maimbestigahan, wala na pong mapapanagot dahil lahat po sila ay nasa ibayong dagat na. Paano po yun, Mr. Chair? Do we have any plans? Do we have any actions para... I know, Mr. Chair, hindi natin pwedeng pigilan po yan dahil yan po ay karapatan naman nila. Pero dahil may investigasyon po nangyayari, ito po yung accountability, Mr. Chair.
You may address your question to the DOJ representative. I think the Prosecutor General, Richard Padulyon, is here. Kindly
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. I believe that while we want all of these personalities who are involved or mentioned in the investigations to just stay in the country during the course of the investigations, we cannot at this time, Mr. Chair, prevent them from traveling because what we can only issue as far as the Department of Justice is a lookout bulletin. A lookout bulletin operates only to check on the records of the passenger who would want to leave, but it would not prevent them from being able to leave the country. There's no legal impediment for them to leave because it would be violative of their constitutional right. However, if I may be bold enough to suggest, Mr. Chair, in answer to the question of the good senator, Yes, there are investigations which are being undertaken at this time, and while I understand that cancellation of passports can only be done if, for example, there are cases which are already filed, and this can only be done through the courts. I believe that representations can probably be made by the investigating bodies with the executive branch, that would be the Department of Foreign Affairs, to possibly hold or possibly cancel passports of those who are undertaking or undergoing investigations, Mr. Chair.
Linawin ko lang, Mr. Chair, parang pwede lang yatang kanselahin ang mga passports ng mga ito kapag sila po'y nakasuhan na. Pero what I'm talking about, yung hindi pa po nakakasuhan kasi it is not enough yung lookout bulletin. Wala naman hong saysay yun eh. Kahit na nandun siya sa lookout bulletin, pwede niya sabihin, wala pa naman ho akong kaso. The only way to stop that person is kung may hold departure order, which we know kung may kaso na. So, ano hong pwede bukod dyan na sinasabi sa lookout bulletin? Are you suggesting na the DFA ika-cancelahin ang passport? But can we do that? Wala pa naman po silang kaso and it will violate their constitutional rights.
I understand, Mr. Chair, if I may, sir, answer the question. I agree with you totally that there is no basis to cancel the passports up until the time that there are cases which are filed as against them and there are representations or there's an order issued by the court allowing for the cancellation. But the question earlier was with respect to what can be done at this time while there are no cases which have been filed. The only solution that I can find for this particular predicament, Mr. Chair, is for us to fast-track the filing of the cases or for cases to be fast-tracked so far as investigations are concerned before the Office of the Secretary of Justice and before the Office of the Ombudsman. And then, and only then, once these cases are filed in court and warrants are issued, can we move for the cancellation of the passports. In the meantime, the suggestion that I made earlier was just a suggestion, Mr. Chair, if only to address the concern of what can be done in the meantime when there are no cases yet which are filed in court.
Kailan po kayo magpa-file ng mga kaso? Kailan po natin makikita na ng DOJ ay magsasampa na po ng kaso?
Cases are already being investigated right now, Mr. Chair. There are 5 cases for flood control projects, ghost projects, which are undergoing preliminary investigation at the moment. There are several cases also which are undergoing evaluation by the Department of Justice. I believe there are also cases which are also pending before the Office of the Ombudsman, Mr. Chair. We expect to terminate the preliminary investigation of the first 5 cases probably within the first week of December or by the middle of December, sir.
To know kung ito po mga cases that will be filed by the DOJ ay mga officials lang po ito ng DPWH, former officials and contractors. Meron po bang kasamang mga politiko na rito?
As of this time, Mr. Chair, as far as the first 5 cases which are undergoing investigation, it involves only officials of the DPWH, particularly those in District 1 in Bulacan, sir.
All right. My next question is, Mr. Chair, alam kong sinusundan niyo rin po at ano na ho nangyari? I don't know if you can answer this, Attorney Fadulyon, kayo po sa DOJ. Nasaan na po yung ating witness na si Ginoong Guteza? Because yung kanya pong testimony ay napakalaki po. Lahat po tayo nagimbal dito. So we want to find out, is he okay? Where is he at? Is he still alive? Is he dead? Ano ho nangyari?
Mr. Chair, Department of Justice would not be in any position to ascertain the whereabouts of Mr. Gutesa. As far as we know, he did testify here in the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, but the Department of Justice never had any interaction with him after that particular testimony. There was no representation made as to his interest in being covered by the program or being granted any protection. And we know for a fact that the intervention by the Witness Protection Program is something which is done voluntarily by the one who is making the application. Inasmuch as there was no application made, we have not had, since the time of his testimony here before the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, any interaction with Mr. Gutesa. So we would not be in a position to say where he is right now or what his condition is, sir.
Mr. Chair, may I ask the Secretariat if we sent out ika nga subpoena or invitation to Mr. Gutesa? Because I'm concerned po. I mean, he made a lot of revelations here during the last meeting when he was here. At, so we want to find out that gusto ho natin siyang tanungin, where did you get all this information? Pero tila wala ho siya. Now, did we invite him?
Yes, Mr. Vice Chairman. We sent an invitation to his known address, no? Nakalagay sa kanyang driver's license sa Taguig. Pero even when the investigation was conducted by the executive judge, wala na po siya doon sa kanyang known address, last known address. So what we did in the Blue Ribbon Committee, we sought the assistance of the Honorable Marcoleta kung sakaling meron siyang contact o may sa darating na panahon magkakaroon siya ng contact ay tulungan niya tayo na malocate at para makapag-testify na muli si Technical Sergeant Gutesa. So ang sagot po ni Honorable Marcoleta, wala rin po siyang contact kay Orly Gutesa.
Isa pang katanungan dyan, Mr. Chair, at nagtatanong po yung mga kababayan ho natin, ano po ang mangyayari ngayon sa kanyang salaysay? Are we going to submit it dahil kung tayo po ay mag-wind down na dito po sa ating investigasyon, are we going to submit it to ICI, Mr. Chair?
The sinumpang salaysay remains valid as far as the Blue Ribbon Committee is concerned. Ano? Nagkaroon lang naman siya ng problema doon sa kanyang pagkanotaryo. And hindi naman po siya sumipot sa DOJ, sa Ombudsman, even sa ICI. So wala po tayong magagawa doon. But as far as the committee is concerned, pag tayo po ay nag-submit ng ating committee report, yung kanyang sinumpang salaysay, as I mentioned earlier, remains valid kasi yun naman ay sinumpaan niya ng bukod, no? Dito sa harapan ng komite.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. May I now direct my question to Yusek Bernardo. Yusek Bernardo, or Engineer Bernardo. Common practice po ang bentahan ng mga pondo sa lower house. Alam po natin yan. Alam po ninyo yan. Ikaw po ba ay naalok na rin ng pondo for flood control ng mga mambabatas? I know you've been talking about senators, may mga congressman, pero ikaw po ba ay nabentahan na ng pondo para sa flood control?
Mr. Chair, as far as I can recall, I cannot remember any time na bentahan po ako niyan sapagkat I think the legislators in the lower house have their own way of dealing with projects, especially to the district engineers and contractors.
So, sa district engineer po ang nagkakaroon ng transaction between the lawmaker at saka yung district engineer. Tama po ba ang pagkaintindi ko?
Yes po, Mr. Chair. As far as I know po, puro ganun po.
Alright. Walk us through, Engineer Bernardo. Pag nagbaba na po ng pondo ng budget ang isang politiko, congressman man yan, sa district, ano po ang nangyayari? Siya rin po ba, tama po ba na siya rin po ang nagsasabi, nagdidictate, ito ang kontratista na gusto kong panalunin mo because siya yung kontratista ang magbibigay ng komisyon kay congressman o sa politiko. Tama po yan. Can you walk us through after na ibaba yung pondo ng mababatas doon sa distrito? What is happening? And walk us through hanggang sa makuha ng politiko yung kanyang komisyon or kickback.
Mr. Chair, I'm very sorry to be of the rec ano po sa ganyang mga proseso sapagkat ang nagkakausap lang po talaga dyan ay ang mga congressmen or legislators sa lower house saka po district engineer o yung mga contractor. Hindi po ako ano dun sa kanilang sistema doon kung paano. Ba't naririnig ko pong ganun talaga? Yun po.
Ay, panghuling nakatalungan na lang po sa inyo, Yusek Bernardo, bago po ako lumipat dito kay Engineer Alcantara. Nabanggit niyo po ang Office of the Executive Secretary na kasama din po dito sa flood control. Ewan ko bakit to sila may flood control. Ang tanong ko po, sino sa Office of the Executive Secretary ang kausap po ninyo? Can you name names?
Mr. Chair, as I've earlier na sinabi ko po, ay si Triggy Pulayvar po ang kausap ko. Siya lang po nagsabi sa akin nun.
Pero hindi po siya sa Office of the Executive Secretary, Engineer Bernardo. Siya po, the last na chinek ko po ay nasa Department of Education po siya. Wala po siya sa Office of the Executive Secretary. Bakit po ninyo nabanggit na siya, yun ay para, yung kanyang hinihingi ay para sa Executive Secretary, Engineer Bernardo?
Mr. Chair, yun lamang po ang sinabi niya sa akin. Wala po akong...
Senator Tulfo, bukod kay Yusek Olaybar, no,